Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Game of Thrones. And we're back in the normal location, because now I have lights. Yay. Not the point. The point is, last time on Game of Thrones, we had the Watchers on the Wall. Great episode focusing solely on the Night's Watch and I guess technically the initial battle with the Wildlings. It was great watching kind of the desperation of the Night's Watch as they face this whole army of wildlings. And they do end up winning, which is great. After a lot of cool stuff, we got some cool fighting. We got some interesting ways to use archery. And yeah, but despite the fact that they did win the battle, they have not won the war. And because of that, they probably won't hold up for more than a few days of, this war basically with the wildlings. So Jon's idea basically is to go and assassinate Mance Rayder and just that, assassinate him, because his theory is that Mance is the only thing that's holding the wildlings together. If he dies, then this entire alliance is toast. So it's an interesting theory, but it's very, very dangerous to try to go in by yourself to try to assassinate this guy. But they really don't have any other plans, so that's what they're going to do. Yeah, that's basically that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Let's stick to this episode and previous episodes of Game of Thrones that I've reacted to. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Season 4 finale of Game of Thrones. Which means after this episode, we're halfway through the seasons. Hooray! Alright, let's get going. Let's get going. This will be fun. Oh god, we're starting with Jon? As if we didn't have enough Jon last episode.
I've been sent to negotiate with you.
Okay. Alright, he's playing it cool.
Did you see her again at Castle Black?
Yes.
And
She's dead.
She's dead.
you're doing?
No. It's a 10-year-old.
Ygritte.
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 You go back, you open the gates to us, and I swear to you that no one else will die. Refuse. And we'll kill every last man in Castle Black.
That's an ultimatum, but alright.
That's why you're here.
Well, he figured it out.
You could do it.
So what's out there? Whoa, what is happening? Wait, is that... Stannis Baratheon? I thought I saw a stag! Holy crap! Where did they come from?
My name is Jon Snow, Your Grace. I'm Ned Stark's son.
Yeah.
Your father was an honorable man.
He was, Your Grace.
Yeah, he was.
What do you think he'd have done with him?
I think my father would have taken him prisoner. Listen to what he had to say.
Okay.
The cause appears to be manticore venom.
It is the death's head manticore.
You guys said that someone was like wiping Oberyn's blade. So he's poisoned.
Come to me for anything you need.
Thank you, Your Grace. You should know.
It is at least a chance to save him.
May change. Somewhat.
Will it weaken him?
Oh no.
Very well then.
As long as he can still fight, then he is of use to Cersei Lannister.
Marjorie will dig her claws in, you will dig your claws in, and you'll fight over him like beasts until you rip him apart. I will burn our house to the ground before I let that happen.
Damn.
And how will you do that?
I'll tell everyone the truth.
God,
What truth would that be?
this is a stubborn family. Don't.
You don't know, do you? Everything they say is true about Jamie and me.
No,
Your legacy is a lie.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Tommen's not the king.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. You don't want to believe her, but you do. Damn.
Who would I be there? What purpose would I serve? With my master, I was a teacher. I had respect and love of his children.
Go be a teacher then.
What is it that you want from me? But freedom means making your own choices.
Ooh.
I will allow you to sign a contract with your former master. It may not cover a period lasting longer than a year.
Thank you, Your Grace. Thank you.
Wow. Freedom to be a slave? That's a weird one.
He came from the sky. The black one. The winged shadow.
Shit.
From the sky and...
Oh, fuck. The dragon.
My God.
Oh. Well, she's locking away the other two. But they don't seem to be the ones causing problems. It's Drogon that seems to be... that seems to be murdering more. Of course, it might be the bigger one of the three of them. Man, that's sad. It's still crazy that Stannis is there. Finally, something happened with Jon's plotline. Like, it's connected to other plots going on. Interesting. Well, they found it. That's at least good. It looks beautiful. Oh, God. Ah! That's not something I need. They're just skeletons. I guess they're the dead. They're the whites. This is crazy, man. Yes! God, I love direwolves. Oh. Summer. Whoa! Holy crap! Jeez!
They cannot follow us. The power
Cool.
that moves them is power.
He died so you could find what you have lost.
His legs.
Help me walk again.
You'll never walk again. But you will fly.
Okay. Alright. Flying.
You're Arya Stark.
I asked if you wanted something.
I swore to your mother I would bring you home to her.
My mother's dead.
I know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! This is amazing! They're so fucking tall! Oh! Come on, Brienne. Oh! Jeez! Now they're fighting dirty. Oh! Uh-oh! Oh, well, no, he's alright. Gotta take a little tumble. Where are the other two?
Where is she? She was just here.
God damn it. Is she gonna fucking kill him? Shit. Just gonna leave him to die.
Kill me.
Won't even mercy kill him.
Help me!
Damn.
Oh, get on with it, you son of a whore.
Is that any way to speak about her mother?
What are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing?
Galley's waiting in the bay bound for the free city.
Holy shit.
Varys.
Varys.
You have more friends than you thought.
Huh. Good man. Oh my gosh, we're breaking Tyrion out. I love that. God, Jaime's really jeopardizing everything. Why are you hesitating? Just go. Oh, fuck. No fucking way. Oh, shit. Fuck. He ended it.
Tyrion. Put down the crossbow.
You've wanted me dead.
Yes. But you refused to die. I respect that. You can admire it.
It's a stubborn family.
I can't go back there. She's in there.
Are you afraid of a dead whore?
Oh!
You're no son of mine. I am your son. I have always been your son.
Yeah. Fuck. Fucking Reigns of Castamere. It's the Reigns of fuck you. Yeah, they know. They know Tywin's dead. He's going too, isn't he? Yeah, he's going too. Wow.
It's iron.
Yeah. Say it.
How did you?
Valar Morghulis.
Yes. Yes.
How do I this? Of course. You shall have a cabin.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, we're all going east. Oh, yes, let's leave Westeros for a bit. Oh. This is kind of a satisfying ending. Because we're going east, getting a bunch of characters out of Westeros for a bit. Alright. Is that it? Show me the credits. Yep. Oh my gosh. Yay, we're going east. We are going fucking east. This is the longest episode I think we've had. 1 hour and 4 minutes. Goodness gracious. Oh boy. Alrighty. I think of... Oh god. I think of the finales to these 4 seasons, so these, episode 10s, I think this one might be the best. Like, a lot of stuff happened in this one. Whereas in the past 3 seasons, it's like, well, we're sort of wrapping up. We had the climax, now we're just kind of wrapping up. It's like, a lot of stuff still happened in this. So, yeah. So, let's go ahead and go over all this. This was a really great episode. Wow. And makes me excited to move on into season 5. So, yeah. The first thing I wrote down was Jon and Mance. So, it really was that... Well, first off, I almost thought that it wouldn't, like, it would take a while before Jon got to Mance. Like, I thought it was going to be episodes from now. We start the episode with that, which is amazing. I really like that it's like, all right, we're just getting right to it. Here we go. Can he kill Mance? And it would have been hard, and Mance did figure him out, but he did have a bit of a plan going in. You know, he said, like, I've come to negotiate. I've come to negotiate. And to Mance's credit, he was willing to accept a peace. You know, if you let us beyond the wall, if you let us south of the wall, then I will make sure that no one else dies. That is good. You know, he's not a bloodthirsty, you know, wildling. He is a guy who's trying to save his people, basically. So that was good, and I did like that. And then, friggin' out of nowhere, I swear, out of nowhere, here comes Stannis Baratheon, the one true king of Westeros. Holy crap. So the last time we saw this guy, he was in Braavos, and I guess he got that loan from the Iron Bank. He got the loan of, you know, probably gold and men, all those men that were there in the north fighting the wildlings, and all those men that were north of the wall too. Like, that's the big thing as well. It's like they were all, so they must have sailed up from, or here, I'm gonna do this so the way you're looking at it. So let's say if Essos was over here, so they sailed from Braavos to the north in the north of Westeros, and they sailed past the wall and then attacked. That is interesting, and all with horses too. Not like all of them pretty much had horses. Like, holy crap. And it's so cool because this is the first time in the entire show. This is the first time pretty much in the entire show that Jon's plot ties into another plot line. Have you noticed that? That hasn't happened before. From episode 2, when Ned Stark sees off Jon to go to the wall, Jon has not interacted with someone from our main plot line, basically. And, well, sort of our main plot line. You know, Stannis could be considered sort of his own side plot line, but I imagine he's building up to try to be a part of our main plot line, which honestly right now is the Lannisters. So just the fact that Jon's storyline got to interact with another storyline, it's like I've been waiting 4 seasons for this. It's like, oh, finally something happened with Jon. And now that's not to say it's like, oh, well, Jon's just been doing nothing all this time. No, obviously Jon's been doing a lot of stuff in his own plotline, but now all of that has converged into another plotline, being Stannis' plotline. So I like that. I like when we build up these, you know, plot lines and we get a payoff to it when the plot lines converge. It's kind of like a crossover. We finally get that. We get that crossover. We get that, you know, that combination, basically. And it's like, I love that. So, yeah, that was awesome. And now Stannis is at the wall. It's interesting that he started with the wall, though. You know, he got all these men. Why did he go to the wall first? Although he imagined, you know, well, not imagined, I'm sorry. He foresaw, you know, in the fire, he saw the great battle in the snow. Was that supposed to be the great battle in the snow? Or is it just that, you know, he saw the battle in the snow, so that's why he went north? Which, honestly, I guess that does make sense, too, because it's like, you know, he could go deal with Westeros. He could go and wage war on the 7 realms and take the Iron Throne. But he knows the White Walkers are coming, you know? He knows the White Walkers are coming. Maester Aemon sent out letters to everyone. And it looks like Stannis is the only one to now respond, basically. And he's there and he's ready. And he's like, all right, I'm the king. I'm ready. Here we go. So yeah, that is amazing. Oh, okay. All right. The next thing I wrote down was saving the mountain. That's interesting that... it's interesting that they're trying to save the mountain. I figured he was dead. Like, I figured that it's like, yes, he did last long enough to kill Oberyn, but he died. Like, Oberyn did inflict enough damage, and you guys did tell me, like, just before the fight begins, you can see a guy with a cloth, like, rubbing the blades of Oberyn's spear. Don't take that out of context. That could be very perverted out of context. Anyway, so yeah, he was rubbing something onto the spearheads, basically. And, his name is the Red Viper, so it does make sense that he would have some sort of poison. And sure enough, the mountain was poisoned in this. And right now, the Maester there is trying to save him on Cersei's orders, because I imagine that Cersei doesn't want to lose the mountains. Like, this is my greatest warrior ever. Like, he pretty much always wins. Oberyn got close, but the mountain is a force to be reckoned with. So, it is interesting that she's basically authorizing anything and everything to this Maester in order to save the mountain. Now, whether he does that or not, we don't know, but that would be interesting. I would imagine that something comes of that, like, because why would you show that they're trying to save the mountain and they don't go back to him? They never say it's like, well, he ended up dying anyway. It's like, no, I think that there's a purpose in that. Like, maybe that'll come back, and whether or not he's changed, I don't know, because they did allude to that too. It's like, all this stuff that I'm doing, he could change. And, Cersei says, like, well, will it weaken him? And the Maester was like, well, no. And it's like, well, okay, then it doesn't matter. It's fine. So, yeah. Got crap in my mouth. God, we're 3 notes in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've said so many words. Well, let's keep going. I wrote down Cersei and Tywin. Okay, that is pretty cool. It's amazing how she stood up to him. Honestly, you could say that Tywin lost his grip on all of his children, because Jaime refuses to exit the Kingsguard and, take his place as heir to Casterly Rock and, carry on the legacy of the Lannisters. Cersei just completely is like, I am not marrying again. I will never marry Loras Tyrell. And it's like, he's all like, oh, well, yes, you will. You've tried this before. You've tried to have your way before, but you can't. Sorry, my word goes. And she basically, says, like, but I know the one thing that can ruin this entire family, and that's basically her love with Jaime. It's like, if she, like, went public with that and been like, yes, it's all true, that would ruin the family so much, especially because Tommen would not be the king. He wouldn't. Tommen would not be the king anymore, because it's this belief that Tommen is a Baratheon, that Tommen is the son of Robert Baratheon that keeps him on the throne. It's what kept Joffrey on the throne, and suddenly, if Cersei were to go public and say, yes, Tommen is the son of Jaime, then that entirely goes away, and Stannis, that means that Stannis will be proclaimed the king, because he would be the next in line, the true heir to Robert Baratheon. So yeah. So just completely shutting Tywin down like that is amazing. And especially because, it's like, well, it's like, him saying, it's like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that, basically that you've had sex with your brother. It's like, I don't believe this. And Cersei, can read him like a book, honestly. It's like, yes, you do believe it. You just don't want to. He refuses to believe it, but in reality, deep down, he does believe it. And you could see, on his face, all that rage, yet all that, honestly, a little bit of fear. There was a little bit of fear on his face when when she was threatening him, because at that point he realizes that she won. So yeah. Alright. I wrote down Drogon. Interesting that it's specifically Drogon that's causing all the problems. The other two, no one's been complaining about the other two. And when we saw that, the flock that was destroyed, it was only Drogon. Now that they've described him, it's like Drogon is he's a black dragon. The other two are sort of greenish, sort of a yellow, greenish, and red. Drogon is specifically a black dragon. And Drogon seems to be the one that's causing all the problems. And it's hard to tame. They've said it's hard to tame a dragon. Even because that's the thing, it's even Jorah said that. It's they are dragons. They cannot be tamed even by their mother. So Jorah was right. And it's interesting that now Drogon seems to be the biggest of the three of them. And he is the one that's causing problems. He's killing, a flock of sheep or that child and stuff like that. It's he's the one that's causing the problem. The other two weren't a problem, but just in case, she had to lock the two of them up anyway in the catacombs of Meereen. And it's one of those things where it's that is sad. That is a really sad scene, because they realize what's happening and they're like, wait, where did you, it's crating a dog or giving up a dog or something like that. It's no, wait, come back, and you're just sad. She was sad. She was pretty much crying that she had to lock away her dragons. But yeah, I mean, what else can she do unless she figures out a way to tame them, which I don't know. And I guess it's also the problem that she feels bad about it. I guess that could be it too, because I was kind of thinking well, okay, what did Aegon do with his dragons? He had dragons. That's how he conquered Westeros. But it's what did he do about that? It's did he? I don't know. What did he do? What did he do about his dragon? Did he just let them go? It's fuck it, I don't care. That could be it, is that Daenerys is such a good person that it kills her. It kills her when these livestock or these children are killed by her dragon, and it's her fault. So, yeah, that's interesting. I'm wondering where we're going to go with that with Drogon, because the other two are locked away, and so we really don't have to worry about them, but it is Drogon that's the problem. I wrote down the whites, not the normal whites, the people that I brought back to life, but the skeleton whites, I guess. It's wow, that's terrifying. And it's interesting that they're sort of outside of this tree. They're just outside this tree, but they can't go in. So, yeah, that was kind of cool. Oh, God. I wrote down the children. So these are the children that that the first men encountered. That's what they said too. It's the first men called us children, although we've been here a lot longer than they have. So that's interesting. I don't remember enough about the children from the lore videos and stuff. Maybe I'll go rewatch some of those lore videos. It's nice that now that season 4 is done, I get to go watch that lore video, which is fun. I love the lore videos. They're so fun. I just love how deep the lore goes. So yeah, I might have to rewatch some of the stuff about the children, because I don't exactly remember their whole deal. But I know that the children were already in the north when the first men came, right? I'm pretty sure that's it. So, like, the first men came over to the north and sort of co-inhabited, like, they basically co-inhabited the north with the children. And, like, I don't think there were hostilities. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think there were. I wrote down fly. That's interesting that Bran is going to learn how to fly. Like, that kind of came out of left field, almost. It's like, you know, you'll regain what you lost. It's like, I'm going to walk, and he's like, well, no, you're not going to You're not going to walk, but you are going to fly. And it's like, I didn't know that was on the table. So, yeah, that's interesting. I wrote down Brienne versus the Hound. That was a great fight between the two of them. They're so fucking tall. Like, and it must just be that they're next to short people all the time, but the two of them are tall, and that fight was brutal. But it's interesting that Brienne won. That was really cool. So, yeah. That was definitely interesting. Now, I kind of wish, you know, they said it was not a good meeting when they finally met Arya. When they finally found Arya, it's like, that didn't work, you know, trying to say, you know, I worked for Lady Catelyn. I wish she had said, like, yeah, because she got into trouble, basically, by saying that, you know, she was returning Jaime home. Despite the fact that she was on orders from Catelyn, it did, like, lose credibility that she returned Jaime Lannister to King's Landing. And she was basically, you know, she got the sword from Jaime Lannister. So that didn't work out in her favor with Arya. But I will say, it could have been better if she said, like, you know, because the whole thing was like, you know, I swore to protect your mother, and it's like, well, then where were you when she died, when she was murdered? And it's like, well, you could have said, it's like, well, I was sent on a mission to find you and your sister Sansa. It's like, that would have worked. She's already on her way to find Sansa. So yeah, it's like that could have worked if they did that, but, you know. I wrote down no mercy. So it has been a thing this whole time that Arya has promised that she would kill the Hound. And finally at the end, technically she doesn't do it. Technically she doesn't kill him, but she doesn't mercy kill him. Because that's the thing, it's like, you know, yes, he is going to die. He is going to die, but she could end it. Just put him out of his suffering. And finally, she sees the advantage. She sees, like, I can just leave you. I don't have to mercy kill you. I can just leave you to die and suffer. And she does. Like, that is basically, like, if she killed him, that would be something like, okay, well, she actually did it. Like, she promised. But it's like, this is almost worse. It's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to let you die. So, that was interesting. I wrote down Tyrion and Tywin. First off, the fact that Jaime saved Tyrion was pretty good. I like that. And then that whole finding Shay in the bed of Tywin Lannister. It's like, wow, fuck you bitch. Like, that sucks. And then Tyrion kills her. And then it's interesting that he found Tywin, you know, taking a dump, basically. Because honestly, well, I mean, why wouldn't he be there with her? So yeah, that's interesting. And then, you know, taking his crossbow, basically, and going and confronting him. And it's interesting, like, what, you know, Tywin is saying, like, you know, well, why don't we just go and talk about this in my chambers? Like, what the you think he's a moron? No! It's like, I get he's trying to get out of being killed, but it's like, bro, I think the writing's on the wall, man. I don't think this is gonna work. And sure enough, Tyrion just kills him. And I like that too, that, you know, just before, well, after shooting the first arrow, you know, Tywin says, like, you're not my son, and Tyrion says, yes, I am. It's like, that's another one of those things, like, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna let you suffer, basically. It's like, no, I am your son, asshole. And bang. Well, yeah. That's interesting. Good on Varys. That's the next thing I wrote down. Good on Varys for protecting Tyrion. Because he did say it's like he is the man that can save the Seven Kingdoms, you know. He's got the credibility, he's got the mind, he's got the right last name, it can all work. So I did like that he did save Tyrion in the end. And then when that whole, you know, because he didn't know what had happened. Tyrion didn't say anything. It's just that Tyrion showed up and he's bloodied. You know, he's got blood on him. And Varys is just like, where'd all this blood come from? And he's like, oh, fuck it, let's just go, let's get out of here. And then it's like, you know, so puts him in a crate to smuggle him away. And then it's just like, you know, he turns back from the ship and you hear the bells and he realizes what happened. It's like, oh shit, he killed Tywin. Because obviously he's not going to kill Tommen. Or maybe he did kill, you know, maybe Varys is thinking like maybe he did kill Tommen. But more likely he killed Tywin. But those are the bells that Tywin Lannister is dead. The Hand of the King is dead. Makes me wonder who Tommen's going to name as the next Hand of the King. And yeah. So, yeah, as soon as he hears those bells, he's like, oh, fuck. And he gets out of there. He's like, oh, fuck, I'm not staying here. So, yeah. And then the last thing I wrote down, we're going east. So, they said, like, you know, I'm pretty sure they said, like, we're going to the land of the free men. I think that's what they said, or the free land. I don't know. I don't know exactly, like, what they called it, but it's like, but that's where Tyrion is going. Varys is going with him now. And that's where Arya is going too, because she's finally, the end of season 2 was when Jack and Hagar was like, hey, if you ever need to see me again, then take this coin to anyone from Braavos and say Valar Morghulis. I guess that was only 2 seasons ago, but still. So finally Arya's going to Braavos to I guess to learn how to actually fight and kill with Jack and Hagar. So yeah, we're heading east. I like that. Meanwhile, Stannis, you know, made his way west, which is interesting. So yeah, I'm excited for the next season. Yeah, that's basically it. Great episode. I think this is probably the strongest season finale we've had. Like, definitely, like, I really love this episode. And yeah, it's like we resolved a lot of plot lines in this one and started new ones. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm excited for season 5. And yeah, that's pretty much that. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Game of Thrones reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.